welcome or welcome back to my channel. Today I've got 3 trash to treasure items to share with you that I think you're really going to enjoy. And then I'm going to style them for fall as well. I hope this gives you some inspiration to think outside the box, to see things a little bit different that you're throwing away, or looking in your neighbor's trash pile out by the curb on trash day. If you want to see them, I hope you do. Stick around. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Okay, I'm starting with an old lamp that we had hanging in our backyard under our gazebo. This has been here for about 10 years, and through all the Texas heat and the hailstorms and everything like that, a lot of the glass is broken. The candle part has melted down, and I started to throw this away, and then I decided to go ahead and start taking it apart and see if I could save it. So I'm just going to take it completely apart and see what I have. Okay, sometimes it's hard to figure out exactly how to take some of this stuff apart, but this had an electrical part on top for solar, and I'm going to go ahead and take that and cut that off, and then I'm only going to save the top part. If you find people that throw stuff away, I look at the curb every single trash day and see if people are throwing stuff like this away, or anything that you can get that you could even use one component. Like I had a piece of glass in this that I can actually save for another project. Just take everything completely apart and see what you got. I was really only able to salvage about 3 pieces of this. The base, I found this little plaque at Michael's, and it actually fit perfectly down in there because the base that was in there before, it was trash. That just went right down. I couldn't believe how perfectly that fit into there. And then I was able to save just the base, the top, and then the part that holds the top on. And then I'm going to go ahead and sand them, and then I'm going to go ahead and paint them. I did take a sander and sand it because some of the metal was flaking off of this, and I did want to kind of get a smooth finish on it. So I did end up sanding all my pieces. And it really didn't take that much time, but I did get it kind of smooth. I mean, it's not perfect, but it was perfect enough for what I'm doing with it. Give all the black pieces a fresh coat of paint, and I'm just using Rust-Oleum satin black paint. Just paint the bottom, the piece of wood, that same color. That way every bit of it will be black. Then I just assembled it, and this is how pretty this turned out. Look how nice that is compared to what I started with. Some decor to that lantern. I'm going to take a plaque that measures 5 1/4 by 3 1/4, and I'm going to build a candlestick holder for this, but I'm not going to put a candle on it. I'll show you what I'm doing with that here in a second. And then I'm just using wood glue and some of the little wooden blocks from the Dollar Tree to go right on top of here. Then I'm going to add a 2-inch flat disc on top of that. And then I'm going to add a ring and another flat disc. I'm just going to kind of build on this, and it's going to be the same pattern all the way up. And then that's just a little 2-inch ring, just a little wooden ring. And I'll give you the link for some of this stuff. I get a lot of this stuff on Amazon. But you're just kind of alternating, and that way it'll give it a nice flat surface for your next block to go onto. And wood glue is the best for this project right here. I'm just going to add another 2-inch disc on top of that, and then I'm going to go back with my block again, and I'm just going to repeat this 3 times. And you can do any pattern that you want to. It's really pretty if you do these candlesticks and you're kind of adding different layers of different things just to kind of break it up a little bit. And then I'm going to do one more layer. And then I started to do one more layer. I put the block on there, but I'm going to show you where I took it back off because I did end up putting a 3-inch piece of wood on top of that. So disregard this, but I didn't want you to just not see how I attached the 3-inch one. But I did put it on there, doubled them up so that they're a little bit thicker. And I put it on top of that block, and then I taken it back off. But I didn't want you wouldn't be able to see that I put the 3-inch block if I didn't take that and take it back off. So I figured that was too tall right there, and then I did take that block off, and then I just set that down onto the 2-inch that I had on the final layer of the other one. That's how that looks all put together, and then I'm just going to spray paint it with a matte black paint.
To decorate my lantern, I'm just taking the lid off. It made it a little bit easier just to take that off and not put it on permanently. I'm taking a pumpkin, putting it on the top of my candlestick, and I'm just using a glue dot to hold this in place. I'm not doing anything permanent in here because I do want to use this during the Christmas holiday as well. And I'm adding a stringer of fairy lights. I'm just going to put my battery pack into the very back, and I'm just going to run it up through the center here. And then I'm just going to take a fall leaf garland that I got on Amazon, and I'm just going to wrap that inside around, and I'm going to wrap the lights inside of it as well. This is a super simple project. I'll give you the link for the garland. It is so pretty. And then I'm just going to add a few pine cones just to kind of finish it out. And that way I can reuse this for the Christmas holiday. But that's just one little bundle of garland. You get 2 in a pack in the kit. And I'm just adding 3 pine cones in here. Just kind of trying to keep it a little bit simple. Sometimes less is more. All right, and then that's how that turned out. Now this has a remote control with it too, so you can just remotely turn it on and remotely turn it off. But I think this one turned out so pretty, considering this was just going to be in the trash. For this project, I found the ceiling fan in front of my neighbor's house on trash day, and I just hauled it home, and I'm just taking it completely apart to see what I can salvage out of this one. This one actually had a lot of components to it. Okay, this part completely spoke to me. This is just the base of it, and I'm just going to take it and turn it upside down. And then this piece in the center that held the bulb, it's perfect for a candlestick, so I'm going to make a little vase with this. See how easy that was? Look how cute that it would be. And I just glued all this together. I put a little wooden ring right down in the center to hold the base to the top part. And I put the plastic piece on top, and I put the little candle holder in the middle. And then I'm just going to take this outside, and I'm going to spray paint it with some Rust-Oleum or with some Krylon matte black paint. This is how this one turned out. I think it turned out super pretty. And I'm just going to go ahead and add some pine cones all the way around the edge, and I'm just going to glue these in. And these are little pine cones that actually came from Montana. My mom sends me boxes of these that she collects for me. But any kind of small pine cone you could use. Hobby Lobby sells some pine cones as well that you could actually use those as well. And I'm going to kind of go quickly through this part. I'm just gluing them all the way around. And then I'm taking a eucalyptus garland that I had, and I'm just going to pull off some of the branches off of it. And I'm going to put those into the center. I'm not going to glue these in. I'm just going to kind of push these in because they were long enough where they will stay. And that way, if I want to change it up for Christmas, I can change it up. But I did fill it pretty full. And I'm going to take some Jenga blocks and a pumpkin, and I'm going to attach those to the bottom of it to kind of give it some height. That way I can stand it up into the center, or you could put a candle in this, either or, but I just thought I'd put a pumpkin in the center to start with. And then I can take it out and do something for the holidays for Christmas. And I just put a little bit of glue down into the bottom so that I could pop this back out after the holidays are over. And then to tie the bottom to the top, I just added a few little pine cones on top. All right, this was super simple, and I think it turned out so pretty. Let me know what you think. I think this one turned out so pretty, and then the blades that were left over from the ceiling fan, I'm going to use those in a Christmas project, so stay tuned. Okay, for this one, I just found an outdoor light fixture, and I'm just going to take it completely apart. Now, this had a lot of interesting things on it. I mean, it's filthy. It's got bugs all over and everything like that, but I decided to go ahead and give this a whirl. And I'm going to go ahead and take it completely apart. I'm going to take the glass out and everything. And then the glass ended up not being salvageable because I couldn't get it to clean. But I did take everything else apart. And I'll show you some of the cool components on it. Some of the things that you could do with them. Just kind of think outside the box when you're taking this stuff apart. Because there are little things that you could do with some of this. Okay, since it did have some rust around it, I took a little steel wool pad and just went around and kind of lightly got it off of there. It didn't take much to get it off of there, but I did go around and do each of my metal pieces to get them cleaned up because I am going to paint them. Okay, then I'm going to paint all my pieces with a Krylon matte black paint. And on this piece here, I was surprised how many pieces came apart on this. I really thought that some of it was cast together, and I was really wrong. Once I started digging in here, I mean, you had to take a lot of screws out, but everything did come apart. Even if you were to find just a couple things on here that you could use in a project, take some of this stuff apart. Just pick up somebody else's trash that might look interesting to you. I was able to save the side glass on this. You can kind of see how foggy it looks. I tried to clean it in the sink and it didn't come clean, but I'm just going to take a little razor blade and I'm just going to scrape it. And I was able to get every bit of that off of there. Just kind of take your time on that, but a little razor blade works really good. And then I'm going to go ahead and assemble back together what I was able to salvage. Now, if you're doing this, be sure and take a couple of pictures of what it looked like before you take it apart so that you can remember how to put it back together once you start putting it back together. Since I wasn't going to use the glass at the top, I had to find something that transitioned between the top and the base part. So I found this little plaque at Michael's and I'm just going to take it apart. And then I'm going to paint this black to match the rest of this. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and assemble it. And I just want to show you some of the things that I took off of here, like that little piece. These can be used on something else. That could actually be a wagon handle. I mean, there's so many things that you could use some of the extra pieces with. And I'm just going to go ahead and assemble this the best that I can. And I'm going to go ahead and screw the two screws that were back in the top of this. Now, the top is completely different from the top that I started with because it did have glass. And that's where I'm going to put that piece of wood on there and build the rest of it up from there. And then this ended up turning out pretty cute. And I didn't do a base in it, and I'll show you here in a little bit when I actually do my project to decorate it with, how I'm actually going to put my base in there. And I'm just going to use hot glue to glue this in. And then I'm going to glue my other pieces to it as well. The little top part, I had to kind of think outside the box on this one because I didn't use some of the attachment pieces that went to the lid. So I'm just cutting some cork up to put inside of it to glue it to that piece of wood on top. I'm just going to go ahead and glue these in with some hot glue, and then I'm going to attach the whole thing to the top part of my lantern with a E6000 glue and hot glue. And this is how this turned out. Now, it doesn't have a base, so I did find a piece of 5-inch wood at Michael's, and it fits right in here. It just kind of snaps in place. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to build my little scene on this piece of wood, and then I'm going to push it up in here so that I can use this for other seasons as well. And I'm going to go ahead and paint that with the matte black paint. Then to decorate them, I'm going to take 2 little pumpkins, and I'm going to stack them on top of each other to go right into the center. And then I'm just going to glue them right to the bottom. And I'm going to glue down at the very bottom of each one of these leaves, and I'm going to stick them around this pumpkin, kind of like it's sitting in a field of leaves. And I'm going to kind of go quick around this, but I'm not going all the way to the edge because it did have about a 1/2-inch clearance when you put it into the lantern. So just kind of getting as close as I can, but I'm adding quite a few leaves. I'm going to really fill this up. Have to do is just snap this into the bottom, and that's pretty much it. This would be a good way to store just different seasons because you have them on a little platform, and then I can just snap that out, save it for next year, and snap a new season in. Look how pretty that turned out. I think that one turned out so pretty, and then you can change it out by pulling out the little circle out of the bottom and replacing it with another one with another theme, like at Christmas time. Let me know what you think. I hope you enjoyed the video today. I hope it gave you some inspiration to kind of look at things that you were going to maybe throw away and kind of think outside the box a little bit with them. If you like these kind of videos, be sure and give me a like, subscribe, and ring that bell to be notified when I have a new video upload. Thank y'all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And if nobody's told you today, you're awesome. See you next time. Thanks for watching.